I can't wait for this trial to come, because the subpoena list that Donald Trump should execute in this proceedings is going to be monumental. I want him to subpoena every government gangster that has ever called him out bogusly. I mean, Garland. Think about it. We're going to subpoena Garland, Ray. We're going to put all of them in the hot seat. We're going to go back to Russiagate. We're going to get Rosenstein and all the other gangsters from that era.
Hey, real quick, last question. I think it might have came up. You were Hillary Clinton's CFO in the campaign, right?
It's part of my history.
Were you? Yes or no?
In 2016.
We're going to get documentation from everything, because under the Constitution, and as a federal public defender, I know this, you are entitled not just to the discovery the government gives you, but every piece of information the government possesses and every witness they have to stand up your defense. That's due process.
Did you facilitate the payment for the Steele dossier since you were CFO of the Hillary Clinton campaign?
Sir.
Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes or no?
That was not.
You're under oath, Chairman Gensler. Yes or no?
I know. It was not something I was aware of.
And so the amount, the deluge of subpoenas that is going to come out, you're right, it's going to boomerang. These people bit way more than they can chew, and I can't wait to see the list of people that come in the crosshairs from the defense perspective.
Breaking. Empower Oversight Litigation forces SEC to release additional documents on cryptocurrency conflicts. At first, the SEC had indicated that it would be willing to conduct a search for records of interactions that had taken place between SEC officials and promoters of particular cryptocurrencies, using a particular list of names that the SEC had requested Empower Oversight to supply. The Securities and Exchange Commission did, however, swiftly change its position and had refused to look for such data for nearly 2 years following the request made in August 2020. This is still the subject of an ongoing litigation brought under the Freedom of Information Act against the SEC. Requests made under the Freedom of Information Act to the Securities and Exchange Commission in December 2022 sought conversations regarding cryptocurrency that had taken place between senior SEC employees and their former or prospective employers, as well as connected entities. William Hyman A.A., former senior official at the Securities and Exchange Commission, was compensated with millions of dollars by Simpson Thacher, while he was helping to lead the SEC's judgments about the enforcement of cryptocurrency regulations. Simpson Thacher was a member of a group that advocated for the use of Ether, the cryptocurrency that is native to the Ethereum network. Particularly interesting is a lecture given by Hyman on June 14, 2018, in which he announced publicly that Ether is not a security despite the fact that the SEC has asserted in enforcement actions that other cryptocurrencies identical to Ether are unregistered securities since August 2020. Empower Oversight has submitted many Freedom of Information Act requests in an effort to get data pertaining to the decision-making process at the SEC addressing cryptocurrency concerns. Empower Oversight sent a thorough Freedom of Information Act request to the SEC in August asking for any and all interactions pertaining to cryptocurrencies that had taken place between senior SEC employees and their former or future employers, as well as connected organizations. Empower Oversight has been in the vanguard of the fight for SEC openness ever since that time. Empower Oversight filed a lawsuit against the SEC in the Eastern District of Virginia in an effort to compel the agency to produce documents in response to FOIA requests. Empower Oversight lent their support on February 23 of this year to a motion filed with Judge Annalisa Torres in the Southern District of New York in an effort to obtain access to relevant records held by the SEC. In May of 2023, Empower Oversight forwarded a referral to the SEC Inspector General based on documents that raised questions about the failure of the SEC and its ethics office to properly manage Hyman's conflicts of interest regarding cryptocurrency issues, contacts with his former law firm, Simpson Thacher, and that firm's interest in promoting one cryptocurrency over others. The referral was based on documents that raised questions about the failure of the SEC and its ethics office to properly manage Hyman's conflicts of interest regarding cryptocurrency issues in the FOIA action that is still ongoing as of October 2022. Empower Oversight filed its opposition to the SEC's move for summary judgment regarding records linked to conflicts of interest and selective enforcement in cryptocurrency cases. These materials concern cryptocurrency cases. Empower Oversight submitted a second Freedom of Information Act request in December 2022 concerning potential conflicts of interest and selective enforcement by previous high-level officials. In relation to cryptocurrency, the request made in December 2022 was an attempt to combat the bad faith gamesmanship of the SEC, which consisted of the Commission's refusal to conduct searches using the search keywords that it had requested from Empower Oversight more than a year earlier. Empower Oversight submitted a new lawsuit against the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia in May 2023. The purpose of this lawsuit was to compel the SEC to comply with the Freedom of Information Act request that was submitted in Information Act request that was submitted in December 2022.
Coins. Now, how does PolySign play a role here? Because I've heard you mention that in other broadcasts.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's a custodial thing. I think they would run a buyback through it.
Do you still think a buyback is what they're going to do?
100%.
And do you have a number, or you want to save that till the end?
I mean, there's all kinds of numbers thrown around, but what I can tell you, it's going to be a six-figure number.
That's a beautiful thing. I'll take that all day long. Thank you, God.
Yeah, it is. And it's, we have to remember that the number of people that own XRP is a very, very small percentage of the population. So
yeah, and
the new 1%, but here, let me just say this. It's folks like us that are being entrusted with, a large majority of the wealth that is to be had in the new world. These past few years of us waiting for this operation are not just us waiting. We're being developed and trained. Yes. To be leaders. I mean, we have to be leaders. When all of this goes down, and down it will go, and it will go fast, the majority of the human race is not going to have any idea what's going on. So a lot of that falls to us, and especially, once we get past a lot of the horrors of the coming D class, people aren't going to be the same for a long time. And
the coming, you